Hey there, welcome to be in the garden. Welcome to be in nature. Today, tidying up my canna lilies because they're looking tatsy. You want to come closer? Let's bring you closer. I planted these canna lilies out from their tubers probably about 2 years ago, and they've done very well. They are perennials. There's a plant that will flower when the conditions are right, in the spring and the summer usually, and in the winter the foliage will die right back, all the way back, and then when the conditions are right again they'll emerge again. So they're perennials. They're definitely a great investment in the garden. Why? Because you plant them once and you get year after year after year of joy. So this is it. This is the container I used, and what I'm doing, I'm taking away some of the unwanted plants. Some people call them weeds. But I've got in here the beautiful cannas, and I'm just going to pull some of this foliage out. You see at the front here, I've actually got some red clover. That was my intent, to plant some red clover. But some of these other plants can be brought in by the wind, birds, airborne, unwanted in this area, they're coming out. So right here you can see this fabulous, almost chocolate looking clover, and that was intentional. I planted that as an undercurrent here, but I have got some unwanted plants in here that I'm just going to pull out. Shake those out and pull those out. So let me just get to doing that, and then as you can see, this perennial dies back in the winter and grows back each summer. You just missed it. 2 geese just flew overhead. How beautiful. Okay, let's take those canna lilies off. And then we'll check out soil, throw those compost, and still we can wait for the garden until we can make this container. Just trying to disturb the soil a little bit underneath. I put my fingers underneath and give it a gentle but firm. Can something be gentle and firm at the same time? And just take that out, tug that out, roots and all. So just sort of loosen the soil around it. Just to try and avoid snapping. I think that one actually snapped a little, but I'm trying to avoid snapping it, and I'm trying to take up all the roots. Okay, so all this dry mass here, we're going to trim that back down to almost soil level. So look at this, it looks a mess, doesn't it? But they've given us joy all of last year, and I'm just going to simply cut that foliage down now. But I can hear the beautiful birds. Some of them are just over my right shoulder now. Beautiful, the sound of birds. As the seasons come and go, we give gratitude and thanks that we have made it through to another season. We know for sure that there'll be people out there who perhaps are going through some hard times. And so, whilst I have the joy of being in my garden and taking care of nature, and nature in return taking care of me, I do like just to stop and show gratitude, and also to send positive energy to those of us who need it at this time. Okay, so the old foliage has been removed more or less. The good thing is that soil level is more or less the same. Over time, the soil level may fall down, but that said, the plants in here themselves will actually swell and create even more foliage eventually. I've got some of the clover on this side here, and I'm actually going to plant something else as an undercover. Watch and see. Remember I'm talking about perennials? Here are some perfect perennials I'm going to put underneath here. Number one, because it's raised off the floor, so that means things like squirrels. Well, squirrels will still jump into here, but unwanted things like maybe the cats or rodents, dare I say, perhaps will not reach this area. But I've got some wild strawberries. Some wild strawberries. And so I'm going to just shake off a little bit of the soil. I purchased this in the sale. You know me, I like to get things in a bargain. And because they're perennials, they're just going to grow back every single year anyway. So why not? Here we are. I'm just going to remove some of the soil, just loosen it up. You can see some of the roots are trying to emerge from this pot. So there are some new shoots and new roots in here. The plant itself does become a little dormant in the winter. And so all I'm going to do is dig a hole in between the canna lilies somewhere. Here's a lovely place. I can actually just cascade off the edge. Just going to dig with my hands so I don't damage the tubers of the lilies. You know what, you might want to come over here and see this, so let me just bring you over. Sort of digging away with my hand. I'm holding the tripod in one hand, and you can just see as I expose the top soil here, this is what the tubers look like beneath the soil. And then each of them will lead up to where the new flowers will shoot out from. So I'm trying not to disturb the tubers themselves, but at the end of each of these stems will be a tuber. So all I'm doing is trying to loosen the soil so that I can add a little bit of joy, even more joy, by adding the strawberries there as well. So generally when planting, you want whatever it is that you're planting to be about level with the previous soil. If it's deeper, what is likely to happen is that the water, when you water it all from the rain, will then damage the crown or the area from which the plant is going to grow from. So you want that area to be just shy of the soil, just slightly raised. And what I'm going to do is backfill. Take another one here. So I have two of the strawberry plants. It's lovely to get my hand in the soil, it really does. It's really, it's very therapeutic. I know that there are some studies out there, not that I read them all or anything like that, that's not what I'm saying, but absolutely there are studies out there that suggest when you connect with the soil and connect with nature, it's really very healing, and I know for sure I find that to be so. When the conditions are right, just as they are now, you can see the new roots are just emerging. So in the winter they were dormant. You can see that they are just coming through and they're just looking now just to absolutely grow. And so the container in which they're going to be, I hope that they will find happiness. I hope that they will find joy. This plant was purchased in the sale. Yes, it has some old leaves, but hey, that's what happens in nature. You can just remove those and then pop that in. And let's get some organic wild strawberries, a lot smaller than the conventional strawberries, but delicious none the same. now to put this into the compost. Thank you so much for watching.